Hey, I'm Briar, and this is Speed Dating for Ghosts. For this, I'm going to be doing the rest of the dates that I didn't do before. So we currently have Vera, Kyo, and Dre. And so this will be everyone else, basically. So I'll start. I'm going to skip past stuff that has already been seen. But yeah. Hello again. Nice to see you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we go in. So I'll start, same order, I'll go through Room of Palms, then Liars, then Black, and then back to Palms, Liars, Black. Get everyone. And I'll see if I can remember everyone's voices. So you return to the Room of Psalms, or Palms. The speed dating rounds have wrapped up, but some ghosts are still hanging around. Choose your date. Oh, I don't even have to go through them all. Oh, this is great. Okay, we can just do all the dates. Awesome. Okay, Riley. I don't know if I remember any choices. It didn't work out with this ghost. Oh no! Oops, I fucked that up. Whatever. Did I do okay with Steph? Okay. Well, you catch up with Steph. She looks surprised to see you. You think. It's hard to tell with the mask. Hey, what's up? Is everything okay? I just thought we should hang out. Hearts. Oh, cool. I'd like that. Where should we go? Let's go to the park. That sounds nice, actually. Let's go to the park. It seems simple. I need simple. A heavy layer of snow has claimed the trees and buried the grass nearby. A cobblestone walking trail twists around the edge of a lake. You pass an old ghost sitting on a bench, tossing nothing on the ground but still going through the motions. The ghosts of geese gather around him anyway, acting out a ritual that no longer serves any purpose. This is all still so confusing. You must have a lot of questions. I really, really do. Were you this lost when you died? For a while, yes. How did you figure things out? I'm still figuring things out. Dying's not a simple thing. I just feel like I spent years on a puzzle, only to realize I'm missing pieces. They're gone. I'll never finish. And now, what do I do? Do I take the puzzle apart? Be proud that I did what I could? Still an accomplishment, I guess. But now what? What do we even do as ghosts? Do we get jobs? What's the point of anything? You can help people. I guess we have powers. We can manipulate things, right? That's up to you. When you're little, everyone asks, what do you want to be when you grow up? Now, it's like, what do you want to be when you die? It's too much pressure. I gotta learn how to walk again before I figure out where to go. You have a lot of options. I keep thinking about all the things I can't do now. Eat, drink. I could go for a milkshake right now. Vanilla. With a slice of apple pie. But I guess I won't taste it. There's no point in eating. So then I just wait to want to play my clarinet. But I can't do that either. But you can do so much more. At least I can still do puzzles. And finish learning Japanese. I think I'm ready to take my mask off. You got this. If you say so. How do I look? You look like you. I feel like crying. The good tears. But nothing's coming out. Thank you for the talk. It helped a lot. What are ghost friends for? I'll let you know. It's hard to be a ghost. But Steph seems like she'll be alright. What's next for you, though? Well, what's next for me is visiting the graveyard. I wonder if I can go back and, like, fix what I broke with, oh, I forgot his name. Troy? No. I forget his name. The jock. Okay, Stephanie. Spirit of Denial. Years alive, 1983 to 2004. Cause of death, brain cancer. It took Steph a while to realize she was dead. If you beat cancer, it can be hard to accept when it comes back with a vengeance. Though the disease ultimately took her life, it could not take her spirit. Now Steph begins a new chapter, overwhelmed by the potential death affords. Okay. Well. Let's speed through this intro. Okay. Let's go to the Room of Liars. You return to the Room of Liars. The speed dating rounds have wrapped up, but some ghosts are still hanging around. Okay. Let's rob a bank with Leon. I guess it's time to rob a bank. Leon said to meet him in front of the Moral Trust on 4th. Like the name suggests, this is a bank for the living. Once they notice they've been robbed, they shouldn't suspect the dead. Hopefully. I'm getting nervous, not gonna lie. The others are supposed to be here. We can do this alone. Not really. Without them. We're down a lookout. And our guy on the inside. Who else did you recruit? A couple of degenerates. Don't worry though. They may be slime. But they're loyal slime. The best a crick can ask for. Oh good. Here comes Carl. Hey Carl. Hey. This is Carl's bad. Our token breather. No offense. None taken. I'm just happy you ghosts want to hang out. So, how's it going? What kind of name is Carlsbad? Blame my mom. Name me after where I was conceived. I get it. Carl's the man on the inside. I'm a teller at this bank. I know the combo to the safe and where the cameras are pointed. Why rob your own bank? I hate them. They need to pay. Is your boss mean? No, not really. Mr. Peterson's actually pretty great. He even gave me last week off. My mom was visiting. So why rob them? They wouldn't give me a loan for my vape store. Jerks. So I'm just gonna take the money. Live my dream. My vape dream. All banks are bad. Satan's in suits. No offense. None taken. And speak of the devil. How do you do? Spooky Peter! In the flesh, so to speak. We met in the Room of Liars, same as you. When I told him I robbed banks, he immediately said he was in, before he even heard the plan. Always looking to get my beak wet, so to speak. So here's what we're doing. Spooky Peter will hide out by the door. Watch for trouble. Should be smooth sailing. They closed 6 hours ago, and there's no security tonight. I saw to that. What happened to Winston? Who? The security guard. He's taking some time off. Oh, good. Winston works so hard. He could use a break. And that's what he got. A break. What does that mean, Spooky Peter? Let's get this train rolling. Follow me. Carl pulls out some keys and unlocks the front door. Though alive, he's already proving useful. Inside, the bank is dimly lit. It's eerily quiet at night, like most places busy in the daytime. Spooky Peter disappears into the shadows by the door. Carl and Leon make a beeline for the back. Carl hops over the counter like he's in some heist flick. Leon floats right through. You catch up to them around a corner by a heavy-looking door. This is the vault. What about the cameras? Dang, you're right. I got so excited I forgot. Good thing I'm wearing this ski mask. Hurry up. Every second we're in here, we risk being caught. Do the cameras really matter? It's mostly a precaution. Without eyes on us, well, Carl, they won't know how we pulled it off, and won't be able to guard against it. You know, in case I want to do this again. Smart thinking. Carl gets to work disconnecting the cameras. He starts with the one trained on the vault door. Uh-oh. What's wrong? They have some lock on the wires? I thought it'd be as easy as unplugging it. You thought? You didn't look? Take a look during business hours? Someone would have noticed! What do we do now? This whole time, Carl is staring directly into the camera, the worried look on his face in full view. Cut the wire. I don't have a blade. I don't either. You better just smash it. Alright. Here goes. Ooh, big smash noise. That was fun! Only 10 more to go. Seriously? Seriously. Carl darts through the bank, frantically smashing every camera. You know, we should have got him to unlock the vault first. Ugh. What's going on? Why are you back here? You're supposed to watch the door. I heard a noise. Thought something might be wrong. So you left your post? Who's watching the front? Wait. Why is it so quiet? Oh geez, it's the fuzz! Lights flashing blue and red in the bank. Fill the bank. We took too long, but who tipped them off? Spooky Peter's not hanging around to find out. Figures. Guess we make our exit too. What about Carl? There's no saving him now. He knew the risks. As you leave the bank, you see Carl in cuffs. He's raving about ghosts. The officers are laughing at him. Poor Carl. Can't I help? Not really. Maybe you could try breaking him out of prison. But that's for another time. You've gotten in enough trouble today. Okay, Leon. Spirit of Greed. Years alive, 1933 to 1967. Cause of death? Snitching. Even as a child, Leon was an opportunist. While other kids were playing ball, he'd steal from their bags. His teens and 20s were mostly spent on the road, seeking out scores and grifting. Leon eventually found his calling robbing banks. He and his crew pulled off 4 successful heists before they were caught. During the resulting trial, Leon rolled on his fellow robbers to reduce his sentence. He survived the first stabbing in prison, but wasn't as lucky the second time around. Alright. Okay. Room of Black again. You return to the Room of Black. The speed dating rounds have wrapped up, but some ghosts are still hanging around. Let's go for Hattie first. I think we're gonna save Gary for very last, I guess. You arrive at Queen Mary's to meet Hattie for your date. It's 7 a.m. You're a little late. Looking around, this could be any nursing home. Yellowed walls, stained drop ceilings. Supply carts line the corridors alongside the odd, empty IV stand. The sun's not quite up, but the residents sure are, walking the halls to get a bit of exercise, chatting over weak decaf in the dining room next to reception. You came! Oh wait, what was her voice? You came. Hearts. Welcome to Queen Mary's, my home. What do you think? It's nice. Hearts. Isn't it though? I just love it here.
These are my people.
Behind Hattie, an old woman hangs up the lobby phone. The woman begins to cry.
Her son. Probably making more excuses not to visit.
Do I have to sign in?
Nope. You're a ghost. No one will see you. Unless you want them to. Just come with me. There's someone I want you to meet.
Hattie floats off down the left corridor. All these corridors look the same, but she knows exactly where she's going. You pass a number of open doors, glancing inside. Some residents watch TV from their beds. Others just stare out their windows, or at the walls. Most rooms are bare. A few are decorated. There are tall plants, fine wood furniture. In one room, you spot a record collection. Essential possessions transplanted to make this place feel more like home. At the far end of a long hall, Hattie stops and turns to you.
So, I know this is probably obvious, but we're here to see Milton. He was my partner for 47 years. If you think I'm a firecracker, Milton's all sparks. You'll like him, I think. He's been doing worse lately.
How can I help?
I've been spending a lot of time here. It has him concerned. Milton says I'm hanging on to the past. He wants me to make friends who are more like me. Ghosts, he means. I want to show him that I met a good one. I want him to meet you. It will make him so happy.
Hattie turns to go into Milton's room.
Hurts. Good morning, Millie.
Inside is an empty bed neatly made. Milton is gone.
Oh, no.
Hattie frantically searches the room. She spots the chart at the foot of the bed.
This says he had an aneurysm. He was taken to the hospital.
She looks at you with fear in her eyes.
I have to go.
I can come with you.
I'd like that. I know it's a lot to ask, but I'm scared to do this alone.
You arrive at the hospital with Hattie. I don't know why, but I guess it's just what I think old ladies sound like. Which is not at all what my grandma sounds like, but okay. She floats behind the reception counter to locate Milton's room. Second floor, intensive care. Milton's room is dim. A reedy old man with a thick mustache lies in the bed, motionless. It's quiet except for the steady whoosh and click of a machine by his side. A ventilator, connected to a tube, run down his throat. The machine is breathing for him.
Oh no. Milton.
She looks around, as if he might have already left his body.
They were supposed to let him go.
Hattie looks at Milton's chart.
It says he was found unresponsive. No signs of brain activity. But I still feel his presence. Don't you?
I feel it.
But where is he? Is he lost somewhere? Is he trapped in there? Oh, Milton. His sister has power of attorney. He didn't want this. He signed a form that said, "Do not resuscitate." He didn't want this.
Hattie looks up.
I'm sorry I dragged you here. I know this must be quite awkward. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone with Milton now.
Are you sure you're okay?
Yes, I'll be okay. Thank you for everything.
As you step into the hall to leave, you can hear Hattie say something at Milton's bedside. There's so much more, my love. Just you wait. Damn, alright. Let's read Hattie's deal. Oh, Hattie and Milton. Hattie, Spirit of Compassion. Years alive, 1922 to 2010. Cause of death, heart failure. Throughout her long life, Hattie always put others first. Though she never had any kids of her own, she worked for more than 40 years as an elementary school librarian before retiring to a life of gardening and jam making alongside her lifelong partner, Milton. After Hattie took a hard fall, she and Milton were both accepted into Queen Mary's nursing home, where Hattie lived out her final days helping her fellow residents any way she could. Damn. Okay, there's 4 left. Cool. Well. So I guess... No Riley. So it's a room of liars. I'll see if I can fix that, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Okay, it's time to go date Spooky Peter. You arrive for your date with Spooky Peter. A hall of mirrors at a roadside carnival. A clown's face, all smiles and menace, watches over the entrance. Welcome to my home. Inside are twisted corridors lined with mirrors. With only a slight reflection, it's especially disorienting to navigate these halls. Spooky Peter leads you to a specific mirror, taller than the others. The mirror's face is concave, as if to pull in everything around it. We are going into this mirror. Sure. Follow him. Together, you step inside the mirror. Welcome to the mirror world! Or as it's known here. Oh god. Yes. That's the mirror world spelled backwards. Do you see the eerie green? This is what happens when an image reflects itself. It takes on an eerie green. The more times a reflection is reflected, the greener it becomes. Just like this. That is pretty green. Thank you. Do not be afraid. Nothing here can hurt you. In the mirror world, the physical laws are upended. Am I really here? Or am I over here? Or am I over here? Perhaps it is all of the above. Or even nowhere at all. That's amazing. I thought you might be impressed. I have practiced these skills for ages. Centuries. It is not easy being green. Now come with me. The spooking hour approaches. That's 3 a.m. in case you're wondering. Where are we going? We're headed to a brownstone. A walk-up I know quite well. The second floor apartment, in a house going on 100 years. A student of the arts named Paul has moved in. He heard the rumors. The house is haunted, they said. He ignored them. The cost was worth the fear. Together, you and Spooky Peter fly through the void, passing countless mirrors in reverse, each peering into a life still being lived. Each mirror in the living world is actually a door. Staring into one long enough in the dark, or saying a spirit's name 3 times, that's like knocking. After a short trip through oblivion, you arrive at a particularly decorative mirror. A splendid haunt. Spooky Peter leads you through the mirror glass into a long hall lined with bricks on one side. There are still boxes in the hall. The mirror you step through is propped up against the wall. At the far end is a massive kitchen with original marble tile that does well to hide its age. Paul is sleeping. Let's get to spookin'. Spooky Peter leads you through the closed bedroom door, where a man in his 20s is sound asleep on a mattress. He is snoring loudly. Spooky Peter floats to one shadowy corner by the open window, then motions for you to do the same. The curtain flaps over Peter's shadowy visage. He stands silently, hat bent slightly forward. Ellipses. He's just standing there. Should we shake the bed? Patience, protege. The aim is to be a presence, not a threat. Spooky Peter stands motionless for several minutes. Wait, no. 40 minutes. 40 minutes of doing nothing but standing there. Finally, he moves away from the corner. Watch, protege, as I tighten the knot. Spooky Peter sinks into the hardwood floor. The old wood lets out a loud creak, 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 as steady as a pulse. Paul is still snoring. Peter moves into the ceiling and starts to scratch. Scritch, scritch, scritch. Like a rat, like raspy breaths. Paul is still snoring. Peter is starting to look annoyed. He floats over to Paul and peeks in his ear. Some sort of orange foam. It obstructs his ear canal, preventing him from hearing us. Again, I am thwarted by the progress of man. This is pointless. This is plenty. If you spook them right, they won't even know it. They'll just feel it vaguely. Make them look behind them. Run up the basement stairs. Anything more would be vulgar. Anything more would be irresponsible. You still have much to learn. Another day, perhaps. Spooky Peter leads you back into the hallway mirror. Back through this weird mirror world of his. A fractal realm on the dull side of the Tane. Tane? What he said. Eventually, you reach the mirror that leads back to where you came in. Well, this is me. Thank you for your company. This was fun. I am pleased. Before we return to the physical world, I should warn you. Time behaves differently in the mirror world. What may have felt like hours was in fact years. A decade has passed since we began this date. Ellipses. I speak in jest. It's barely been the length of a talkie. The look of fear on your face. Spooky Peter spooked you good. He tips his hat to say goodbye. More dust falls off the brim. Guess I'll be seeing you. A breeze picks up and the rest of him blows away. Sorry about this one. Alright. It's a graveyard. I think I just might have sucked at that. Spooky Peter, Spirit of Malice. Years alive, 1631 to 1665. Cause of death, bubonic plague. Spooky Peter isn't his real name. It's one he was given by an author of famous, totally true ghost stories. Having been dead some 4 centuries now, Spooky Peter is the oldest ghost at speed dating by a mile. In life, he worked as a doctor, notably treating victims during the last significant outbreaks of the plague in London. The disease would ultimately claim him. Only a few left. Okay, remove black. Oh wait, is that where I just came from? I'm not sure. It's whatever. Speed dating rounds have wrapped up, but some ghosts are still hanging around. So I think Gary now. You arrive at the bus stop where Gary asked to meet. The last bus went by hours ago. Still, there are other ghosts, waiting for something. One natters to herself like a squirrel. Another is on the ground, arms around his knees, rocking back and forth. The third ghost has his back turned, staring silently into the darkness. It's Gary. He's wearing a bow tie! He is wearing a bow tie! I wore a bow tie. You look nice. I wish to look respectable. One must look respectable when meeting one's end, even for the second time. Also, I thought you would like it. I love it. Gary smiles, briefly. We are going to the place where I died, the office where I worked as an accountant, under the tracks, where the trains grind and the walls shake, the dead end of a crooked drive. Sounds spooky. Yes, spooky. A dim, purple light washes over Gary's face. The dead of night bus has arrived. This bus is not sanctioned by any city. Its driver is a wisp, a fragment of a broken spirit, trained to perform repetitive tasks. You and the other ghosts get on the bus. There is no fare. You've all paid the price. Tiny smile. The office is just as I remember it. I sat in the corner, Accounting is not thrilling work, but it can be exceptionally busy. The papers on Gary's old desk are carefully stacked. It seems he liked to keep things orderly. My partner's desk. Always a mess. Papers and rotting food cover every inch of this other desk. Service. Beg your pardon? Service was my partner. Service Gelk. What was he like? I worked with the man for 16 years. At first, for a bank. We were miserable, so we struck out on our own. Gary sits at Service's desk. He turns on the desk lamp to get a better look at the papers. You'd make a good partner. I tried my best. I wish I could say the same for Service. He was a thief. The green and gold lamp collecting dust on Service's desk casts a long shadow. The shadow begins to move. It creeps along the wall until it hangs squarely over Gary. He was telling our clients they owed money. Money they did not owe. He would pocket it for himself. Small amounts, so I would not notice. But even small numbers do not add up. Gary struggles to stand. He seems troubled by something. When I confronted him, there was a fight. In this room? Yes. I killed him! Oh God! I still feel the blade, the knife in my hand. I looked for gloves, bleach. I found them, but I could not hide what I'd done. Instead, I called the police. Sitting quietly in the dark, I waited for them to arrive. When the officers knocked on the door, I was so scared. They warned me, but I couldn't let go of the weapon, frozen in place right there in our office. They shot me where I stood. I died here, same as Service. You didn't mean to. But I did mean to do it. I acted with a clear head. I was not forced. I must carry this burden, atone for my act. I take comfort knowing Service is out there, somewhere, perhaps seeking his own vengeance. I suppose it is only right that I give it to him. Damn! Gary is gone. The office is darker now. On the wall, you see a portrait, 2 smiling men. Service and Gary, the day they opened their firm. The office begins to shake as the first train of the day rolls by overhead. But the picture stays fixed to the wall. Alright, kind of like a grim one to maybe end on, but it seems like there's 2 more, and not just 1 more. Did I miss someone? Gary, Spirit of Vengeance, years alive 1961 to 2016, cause of death, gunshot wound to the chest. Gary worked hard to live a noble life. He saw money as the root of most problems, and his accounting practice was a way to help people live with a little less worry. While Gary kept few friends, those who knew him cherished his honesty and quiet humor. A college roommate once affectionately described him as a bran muffin, hold the butter. After discovering his business partner was stealing from clients, Gary accidentally killed him and was shot by police responding to the scene. Damn, alright. Who was that last one? Did I miss someone? My friend. Hey, hi. Ooh, I'm sorry. The event's all done. All the other ghosts have left. Oh. Can I date Fran? From what I hear, you were pretty popular. Still couldn't find the one, huh? Sadly, no. That's okay. There are always more ghosts. People die pretty much all the time. Did you have fun at least? It was a blast. Glad to hear it. I've been having fun just observing. I set this up to help other ghosts find something they might be missing, or to learn more about themselves. In a way, we are all products of death. I like to think I am also her student. What have you learned? I've learned so much. How burial versus cremation affects the afterlife. The meaning of life. All kinds of neat ghost trivia. When I was alive, I studied people. Now that I'm dead, I study us. It's fascinating. I love trivia. I do too. Trivia's great. Let's play trivia right now. I have questions prepared and everything. Welcome to Fran's scary hard trivia challenge. All the questions are ghost related. Don't worry if you get any wrong. I'm not testing you or anything. Okay, but are you testing me, Fran? Question 1. 1. Which film star is said to haunt the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel in Los Angeles, California? I don't know. Cary Grant? Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually Marilyn Monroe. If you visit that hotel as a ghost, you might meet her. Marilyn actually lived in the hotel for about 2 years. Now she haunts it. Pretty cool, huh? Question 2. 2. Which Shakespearean king appears as a ghost in a play that shares his name? Fuck if I know. King Lear? Nope. The answer is actually Hamlet. This was a tricky one. Hamlet's father appears as a ghost. His name was technically also Hamlet. King Hamlet. There are the ghosts of kings in Richard III, but not Richard III himself. Question 3. 3. A red blood cell that has lost its hemoglobin is known as what? I don't know. Ghost? The correct answer is ghost! Good job! Ghost red blood cells are empty shells. They show up on microscopes, but they're pretty much see-through. Just like us. Question 4. During her seances, what did medium Helen Duncan famously regurgitate and call ectoplasm? Lard? I get why you'd pick a goop, but the answer is actually cheesecloth. Duncan was a medium in the early 1900s. She was said to fake ectoplasm by pulling gross cheesecloth out of her mouth. Duncan was also the last person imprisoned for witchcraft in the UK. Go figure! And question 5. This is the last one. That means it's also the hardest. 5. Which of these authors did not have a story in the first volume of the Fontana Book of Great Ghost Stories? Edgar Allan Poe? The correct answer is Poe. You got it. Poe is in the second volume. Blackwood and Lawrence both have stories in the first. Blackwood was a prolific ghost story writer, while Lawrence, best known for not ghost stories, penned a great one called The Rocking Horse Winter. You got 2 questions right. It's not that bad. You could have done worse. I'm definitely not judging you. I had fun. What now? Well, you can always visit the graveyard. I think relive some of your past dates there. Or select erase state data to start over. That's in the options menu. I had fun. What now? You could always go to hell. Well, excuse me? Always visit the graveyard. I meant that literally. Live some of your past dates there. Here it's gorgeous. Or select erase state data to start over. If you combine travel and accommodations, you can get a pretty good deal. You could always go to hell. My friend Gail is a travel agent. Excuse me? Find you a great river cruise. I meant that literally, of course. Here it's gorgeous this time of year. Here's Gail's card. If you combine travel and accommodations, be sure to send me a telegram. My friend Gail is a travel agent. Alright, time to go. She could find you a great river cruise package. I think I could like that. Here's Gail's card. If you end up going, be sure to send me a telegram. Thanks for playing. Alright, time to go. I'll ring the bell to make it official. The bell rings. I wonder... Oh, here's Fran. Thanks for playing. Fran, Spirit of Curiosity. Years alive, 1958 to 1984. Cause of death, car crash. Fran is the organizer of speed dating for ghosts. Oh, her reasons for putting on an event like this are twofold. Fran, Spirit of Curiosity, science, alive, but also 1958 to 1984. She's met so many miserable ghosts over the years and wanted to help them find companions. Fran is the organizer. She's also been studying the psychology of reasons for putting on an event like this are specifically the need for disclosure of science, but also aims to tie otherwise met so many miserable ghosts over the years and wanted to help them find companions and rely on the living. She's also been studying the psychology of fellow spirits for years, and instead of finding their answers in one another, purpose that's in themselves. Otherwise also loves bad together. She likes to prove that they needn't rely on the living to achieve those goals. Well, ghosts, Fran posits, can instead find their answers in one another and even within themselves. She also loves bad movies. I just finished packing up. Thanks again for participating and for the talk. Well, can I go on second dates? This was speed dating for now. I don't have the resources for long-term relationships for ghosts. Hey, I just finished packing up. Thanks again for participating. I have just one friend for the talk. Can I go on second dates? You still have a bunch of speed dating. Pretty sure I said this before. I don't have the resources for long-term relationships. Or restart the nice, but replay the whole thing.
Just one friend.
See how your conversations could have gone.
So what now? It'll be like we never met.
You still have a bunch of options. I'm not really sure I said this before, but
I guess
you can
this
replay
is
the
good.
dates in the graveyard.
For now, anyway.
Or restart the game.
It was nice to
Play the
meet
whole
you.
thing. You're
See how your conversations could have gone.
Thanks.
It'll be like we never
Okay.
met.
Sometime maybe I'll go
I'm not
back
ready for that.
and replay that.
And I guess this is goodbye.
Riley.
For now, anyway. It was
See
nice
if
to
I
meet
can
you.
get that date, but you're a heck
Right now.
This will be it. Thanks. I think my partner would really like her. Sometime maybe I'll go back and replay that. Together we'll play that one. Thanks for watching. Riley.